Hey. So, this is going to be a little different today, there, folks. Um, for those of you here in the States, you know, I'm starting the stream up an hour earlier. Well, technically, it's 1:18 right at this moment in time. Um, so according to my YouTube descriptions, normally I do like, 2 to 8-ish on my streams, right? Well, um, last night was I guess the ending of daylight savings time or the beginning of daylight savings time. I don't really know. The hour fell back. I'm not quite sure what it's all about. It seems like it's stopping it, whatever. Um, but here's the thing. Um, because of that change in time, that changes up like everything that I have scheduled with Blackheart, and seeing that I've been doing a lot of collabs with Blackheart lately, I need to kind of stick with his schedule because he has other responsibilities himself, and because the United States is still sticking with the daylight savings time right at this moment. Um, it causes problems with other collabs. I kind of feel sorry for those that actually have collabs that are also like across the world, like in Japan, such as like the YouTube agencies, or the VTubers, that have people that are, like in Europe or in, Japan, Australia, what have you. It's like now, they might have said like, hey, we're going to get started at this particular time, but now you have to kind of readjust yourself because of the time zone. It's like, or, because of the daylight savings time debacle. Uh, I mean, I get why it was put into place and stuff like that. It was meant to try to, make sure that you have as much daylight as you possibly could to get work done. But in today's day and age, where that really isn't that big of a deal anymore, um, we have, scientific advancements that help us out a little bit more. Um, we don't necessarily need to worry too much about that. You know, we can actually have farmers kind of adjusting their clocks, based off of the sunrise. And guess what? That's kind of already, that's something that you can, like set up with clocks, for the most part, right? Um, you know, so you don't necessarily need the daylight savings anymore. Now, I will grant you, you know, um, with it turning into winter, obviously there's not as much daylight, the further north you go, right? During these upcoming months. Um, so, um, you know, obviously, trying to get any kind of daylight, anywhere like, in Canada and Alaska, it's probably going to be, um, you know, they have their issues during these months. But um, um, when it comes to here in the States, it's like, come on, guys, we can do better than this now, you know. But I don't know, man. It's one of those things where it's like, oof. But yeah, we're starting this an hour earlier. It is, like I said, around 1 o'clock. I'm going to be switching the hours over to that to keep with my already established collab schedule. So, so while the description might say 2 to 8, not so much anymore. So, for those of you that are, you know, um, you know, maybe you want to catch this live, well, now you're going to have to adjust yourself for the 1 p.m. PST YouTube stream instead of the 2 p.m. And I'm going to probably make some mistakes about that myself. Trying to like go, welcome back to the 2 p.m. Oh, wait, no, it's not 2 p.m. anymore. And I'm going to have to adjust my sleep schedule and so on and so forth. So this is going to be This is a mess. I really don't like doing that. Oh well. So yeah, for the foreseeable future, 1 p.m. to who knows when. 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Whatever. I don't know. But we got ourselves some Pega studying to do, so that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. Um, so let's get into it, shall we? Because we got Pega, we got some Unreal, we got some videos to upload, and we got some Genshin Impact later on tonight. So what are we going to do? So, um, first thing that I want to mention is the fact that you know, these Pega streams. What are they all about? Who am I? What are we doing for these? Okay, so I am I'm currently a unemployed software developer trying to find work, and whose last job was working with the Pega environment. But you know, I was not able to get the certification when they basically forced me to take it one time. And well, I didn't continue with the self studies as much as I could to try to go for it again. So these videos are meant to kind of help me get there. Okay, so um, learning Pega as we go, going through these topics, learning through these topics, and getting to a point where I will feel comfortable on taking the certification and hopefully passing it. Okay. Me and several other of my peers were taught by an authorized training partner. Um, Pretty much 99% of us went self-study because we were having some difficulties with this particular individual. And his coworkers knew. Coworkers saw firsthand why we were having troubles, but nothing was done. We asked to be put back into training, but that never happened either. So we were pushed into contracts, and there you go. But know that I'm not an authorized training partner, and this is not meant to be an instructor-led training. Don't consider me as such. I'm working towards my certification, much like anybody else that might be watching these videos. Okay, so um, if you're watching these videos, keep on pushing through. Keep going towards that goal of certifications. Okay. Now, if you want to take the instructor-led training, go ahead and do so. From what I understand, it's like a 2-week course for $5,000. Not cheap. Um, and they pack everything into the 2-week course, so it's not going to be a um, it's not going to be a relaxed course. They are going to throw everything at you in the kitchen sink. Um, you're going to need to do a lot of studying, a lot of note taking, a lot of video recording, and you're going to need to ask a lot of questions. Okay? Don't be afraid to ask questions. Even ask me questions, whether it's right now in chat, live on stream. or it's if it's a comment in my comment section on these YouTube videos, feel free to ask those questions, okay? Because um, you're going to want to have um, if you're not quite sure about one particular topic, or if you're confused about something, then you're going to need answers. So don't be afraid to ask those questions. I will do my best to try to answer them myself if I can. If I can't, then I will ask my past coworkers to see if they can answer it for you. Okay, so don't be afraid. We will get the answers together. Okay, one way or another. So, um, but I'm currently working towards my system architect certification. Learning through these 2 missions, 26 modules, and 23 challenges. Now, if you're looking for the business architect talks, videos, they're done. I've already covered these 2 missions. I've already covered these 2 modules. So, business architect has already been completed. You can go back through my playlist. All the videos are there. You can, if there's like a topic, a challenge, a module that you want to kind of study along with me, it's all there. So, um, so look at that. Now, I will suggest these 2 modules here are part of the Pega Express delivery, but they don't really, it doesn't feel like it covers enough. Go through the mission of Pega Express delivery, because 12% of the certification for a business architect is about Pega Express delivery. So you're gonna want to be absolutely sure about this. Okay, so you're gonna need to cover this more. I probably won't be doing that because business architect is not a goal for mine. So now there are other versions, 8.8 and 23, but they're not translated yet. And I'd prefer, and I'm doing these videos because I want people to, if you're in a different country, if you know French, if you know German, Japanese, Portuguese, Spanish, you can follow along with me, even though, I'm speaking in English, so hopefully you have some understanding of spoken English. So, but we move on. We're covering the system architect. We got 15 hours and 5 minutes, apparently, according to them. We have one more topic, I believe, in the UX solutions. Um, we've already covered this last time, so we're on the Pega Cosmos advantages. So let's get to it. There are going to be some additional videos in here, so be prepared for that. Okay. So productivity and efficiency. So Pega Cosmos increases productivity and efficiency. Cosmos helps users be more productive by improving the following elements of development: context switching, filtering, unified activity, collaboration views, AI-powered collaboration tools, modular design. Cosmos helps companies become more efficient by offering a product-centric presentation layer that is organized in fast and responsive templates, which allows teams to focus on business logic and data. The following videos and figures depict Pega Cosmos user interfaces built on Cosmos React. For more information, see Cosmos React. Alright, so Pega Cosmos and productivity. Context switching. Navigation improves context switching or multitasking. I personally, I don't really like multitasking. I find if you try to divert your mind to multiple subjects at the same time, then you might miss something in that multitasking. not everybody's built to handle multitasking. Um, so to assume that everybody can do multitasking is a flaw. I don't really like the fact that it's like, hey, you have to multitask in order to succeed. It's like, no, you really don't need to. But um, but we move on. So context switching means that users can interact with business objects without switching screens or tabs. The following video has no audio or closed captions, so you're gonna have to watch this yourself. Okay. But as you can see, it's all about the better context. So showing you the different processes that you can do to kind of get additional data and whatnot. So in the previous video, you see a sales tool built on Cosmos. Users can engage with a list of sales opportunities and filter the list to show only those opportunities in the analysis stage. So unified activity and collaboration views. In unified activity and collaboration views in the activity feed, the command center of the case display everything that happens to the case, such as discussion with teammates or manager and assignments, with all necessary forms on a single screen. You can filter it to show an audit trail. So here's unified activity and collaboration views. New comment. See the different quotes. And there you go. Yeah. They go through those videos really quickly, so hopefully you were able to kind of pick up a lot of that, but in some ways, they really should have you kind of do that yourself instead of having someone else go through those steps so that you can kind of experience it yourself. But AI powered collaboration tools. Cosmos uses artificial intelligence to power collaboration work tasks. The modular design of the Cosmos design system allows users to work on any screen, from mobile phones to large monitors. Cosmos divides pieces of the screen into elements or modules which can slot into an overall structure based on the screen size and use. Each element is easily recognizable. For example, users can reuse the structure and appearance of the summary panel as a preview panel or as a main view on a mobile device. Users quickly learn that this module represents an object in the system. In the center of the following image, slide the vertical line to see a patient case viewed from a desktop and the same case instance viewed from a mobile device. So, so from the desktop, you know, um, so patient case viewed, different documents, different, um, medical records, past history, past claims, coverage readjustment, blah, 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 right? And then for the mobile phone, which why they have this big button right in the middle of the screen, I don't really know. That seems very odd, but um, supposedly it's the same information, you know, April 2nd, 1991, age 29, female, medical coverage readjustment, just right there, comprehensive metabolic panel. One would think that you're dealing with the copay below that, verification, so on and so forth. So the following video demonstrates how modular design works. Showing how the screens can not only get smaller, but it's, you know, it basically pushes um, the sections into more of a scrolling format than, showing all the panels, on the screen all at once if you're on a desktop, right? Because you have a larger viewing, you know, depending on your monitor size, right? Well, you know, when you have a phone, you know, it's a little bit harder because, you're not going to be able to see everything all at once. Otherwise it had to be like super tiny, on your phone, which, let's face it, that would irritate everybody. If you're trying to read something that is on the size of a, legal document. So, don't do that. Okay. Pega Cosmos and efficiency. Productivity drives Cosmos. For offers, it offers a complete presentation layer so that applications are more appealing to users, allowing companies to deliver and iterate faster. Since the presentation layer is available out of box, teams can focus on business logic and data. The following examples show how Cosmos designs driving efficiency. In the following figure, on the left is a case designer found in the App Studio, and on the right is an application built on Cosmos. Fields are organized in order of importance. The design system adjusts the presentation, adding correct visual emphasis. The business logic is maintained by the model, not locked in by the UI itself. Developers or business architects capture business intents in the case designer, and the UI responds to the business intents. So here's the Pega case designer, and here's how the application would actually look. So you have a summary data information that you need to modify. You can have some primary fields, at the very top if you wanted to, but as you can see, you have the status, the urgency, the contact information, patient ID, um, primary care provider, and allergies in there. And of course, it will add in the details and activity automatically. But if there's other things that you need to add, then you can go ahead and add them into secondary or primary fields depending on what you need. I might need to get some water here pretty soon. On the left is the case designer found in the App Studio, and on the right is an application built on Cosmos. Cosmos is a library of beautiful designed and constructed templates that you can use on in multiple contexts. All ensure perfect spacing and alignment, as well as accessibility. Built into every component and screen, check your knowledge with the following interaction. So, Pega Cosmos helps teams be more productive through the use of better multitasking, AI, modular design, filtering, unified activity, collaboration views, with only Pega branded assets. I mean, yes, but it really shouldn't be only Pega branded assets because, I mean, you might be needing things from, say, like the database. I don't know. Oh, oh my God, it caught me on that. No, no, okay. Because normally they are very, it often feels like they're very self-centered in certain regards. But although, do they have that being stated outright? Um, there's a lot of, um, I'm gonna send this in as a suggestion because this is, if you're gonna make a statement in a quiz in a question, then you better make sure that you have um the answer somewhere in the topic, in some fashion or another. Because in a sense, I basically guessed on this, you know, because I mean, how am I, now, um, when you look at Pega, they're they basically are trying to put everything that they can their into their Pega Cosmos. They're trying to build everything within it. So, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable for them because that's what they're doing. They're trying to do everything themselves. You know, they're building all these assets inside Pegacosmos so that it could work the way they want it to work. They're even changing keywords, you know, from industry standards to their very own. As we kind of saw before, rule from object. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's not that far of a leap to leap from like, hey, you guys are doing your own kind of thing right at this moment in time. So this statement, you know, so with the fact that you are trying to add everything into Pega from SORs to rule instead of object. Um, it really isn't that hard of a stretch to say that you are trying to design Pega to be self uh, uh, I'm blanking on the word, the spelling of the word. It happens from time to time. Self-sufficient. Um, I know that I'm misspelling it. No, 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 no. What is it? Self-sufficient. There it is. I knew that I was messing it up. There it is. So when I see a answer that has no statement anywhere in the topic to refute um, previous statements about how Pega is building their own tools, um, then how am I to proceed? I mean, the only thing that I could think of that, you know, could um, make this statement false was an external external database. That's it. Maybe add a statement somewhere within the topic that addresses why it let's see, hold on. Let me look at the image again because I want to make sure that I'm um, getting it correctly. You know, um, it, right, it isn't only Pega branded assets. Um, Maybe add in what Pega uses that isn't Pega assets. Yes. So far, I don't see a large list from where I sit. Alright. Okay, so supposedly it's not limited to Pega branded assets, which, I mean, like I said, you know, um, I can only think of the external database. You know, I'm not sure what else they are referring to here, to be honest. Um, maybe they're looking more on the business side of things, like, hey, um, you know, we can't offer every single business, you know, art or something like that, like a company brand or something. I don't know. I don't know what they are referring to completely by the Pega branded assets. So, you know, a statement somewhere in here that basically talks about that, like, hey, you know, this is what Cosmos provides, but this is what Cosmos doesn't provide, which will be handled by the business themselves, or something like that. That'd be fine. That'd be perfectly fine. So, all right, we're gonna do the module quiz, and then we're gonna be going on to Unreal um, with Blackheart in just a minute. So, oh, we got 6 questions. This is gonna be a long one. Okay, so which of the following options are principles of App Studio? Why do we care about that? This should be back in like the very first um, mission that we did. It shouldn't necessarily, you know, this question shouldn't necessarily be here. We should be talking about the options, you know, the principles of the Dev Studio, not the App Studio, but whatever. Um, Add value as soon as possible. Um, Oh boy. This is difficult for me because I mean um I could see this first one being a possible. Begin with details to build the bigger and to build a big picture. But I feel as though these two stand just slightly above that. You know, uh, you're you're finding the user's needs and putting it to practice, and then you're trying to do that as fast as you possibly can, which is kind of what App Studio is all about. So yeah. But here's the thing: it's like, don't you want to do add details for the big picture as well? I don't know. I'm a little concerned about that, but so adding values quickly is one of the six principles of App Studio. Contextualizing user needs is one of the six principles of App Studio. This question should not be in this particular module, in my particular opinion, but whatever. Okay, we move on. Which two of the following options describe modular design? So, an approach that allows users to learn the meaning of discrete elements on the screen so that they can be reused in multiple contexts. I don't know about that. Designing the more for more than one screen, such as mobile or desktop, to allow for functional essentials of the system to work properly. Yes. An application building development environment that uses graphical user interfaces. I mean, that sounds about right. A prescribed presentation layer with information architecture, interactions, accessibility, and data visualizations. Damn, that's also something that I might want. Building a series of components to create models of an application prior to launch. No. Um, um, I think it's these two. Okay, but apparently not, even though thought I thought they did talk about the presentation layer. Modular design is not described as a prescribed presentation layer with okay. Are you sure about that? I thought it was. Hold on a second. I want to go back there because um, let's see. Cosmos helps companies become more efficient by offering a production-centric presentation layer that is organized in fast, responsive templates, which allows teams to focus on business logic and data. Hmm. I guess it's maybe not so much the presentation layer, but maybe the information architecture, interactions, and accessibility and data visualizations. Hmm. Okay, well, move on. Which for the following terms describes a design system? Well, presentation layer. Um, I don't really remember these being discussed all that much. It's not low-code app studio and it's not AI-driven imagery. Those two don't sound correct at all, so I'm gonna choose these four. Yeah. AI-driven imagery is, something fairly new that's coming into play anyway, right at this moment in time, but it's not something that is being put into, um, Pega right at this moment in time. And low-code app studio is not part of the whole PI, Cosmos anyway, so. Well, this doesn't necessarily help, guys. Come on, you're repeating the same answer over and over and over again. What the fuck? Change it up a little bit. Uh, okay, hold on. Actually, hold on. Let me take the question as well, as that's a little off. Suggest an edit. Um, why are you showing the same answer for the four correct answers? Maybe change the answers up a little, saying why they are added to the design system. This just feels lazy. All right. Which of the following is a specific advantage of Pega Cosmos? Embraces modular design, sure is designed so that users can interact with business objects on multiple tabs. I mean, that doesn't really care. Focus primarily on B2C use cases. What the hell is B2C? I don't understand that. Never mind. We're not going to move on. And we're going to move on from that. Cosmos is used in single business context. No. So, yeah. um, not sure what was going on there, but we move on. And Cosmos, which of the following contains the most critical information about a case? Most likely the summary panel. Yeah. Which of the following definitions best describes low code? So, um, building environment where users sketch out the highest level concepts of the application and details later. Application development environment that uses graphical user interface. Is there traditional hand-coded computer programming? The other environment we use is sketch out the details of the application first. I'm kind of leaning towards that one right at this moment in time. Yeah, that should be the correct answer. Okay. And did we get 100%? I'm a little worried about that first one. Yeah, I was right to be a little worried about that first one. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Um, um, there's that. Summary panel. Modular design. Nope, that's not the right one. Um, okay. Gotcha. Um, I'm gonna lean towards 5 on this one. Let's see if I got that right. Okay. And still got it wrong. Okay, what the hell is going on here? That's correct. Summary panel is correct. This isn't one. That's not one. That one is correct. I guess that's not one. So, an approach that allows users to learn the meaning of discrete elements on the screen so they can be reused in multiple contexts. once again, I don't know if they really covered this completely. Okay, well, we move on. I need to move on to Unreal here because I'm a little behind right at this moment in time. So, okay, there we go. I I feel like they really need to work on their modular design description a little bit more if they're gonna really hit you with a lot of questions about that and tell you, hey, you need to do this more. So I don't know. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to close on down anyway for this Pega um, study session. I need to move on over to the Unreal with my friend Blackheart. So give me a second or two, and we'll switch on over, and then we'll go ahead and kind of get started. But for those of you watching this Pega development, Pega certification study, um, you know, uh, hopefully you enjoyed it. Feel free to check out the rest of the playlist. Um, maybe maybe address some of the things that I'm having problems with the whole modular design. That would be fantastic. Um, leave a comment. Um, like and subscribe. Check out my description for other details. But that's it. So take care, everybody, and I will see you on the next video.